Security is freedom from or resilience against a potential harm. And if you look about the definition, security is always the state of being free from danger or threat. See, when you are traveling from one place to another place, you may have some feeling of that somebody can steal your things. That feel always would be there to protect your important things while you are traveling. So the state of being free from danger or threat is called as a security. That's what it's in a freedom from or resilience against potential harm. And if you feel that something is harm to you, you don't have security at all. So this harm can cause due to various possible threats. So like when you are traveling, you feel like in a uncomfortable that your things can be stolen. So the beneficiaries, like technically we call as a reference of security, may be of persons and social groups, objects and institutions, ecosystems, or any other entity or phenomenon vulnerable to unwanted change. Let's we dig out some more information with respect to the what is exactly security. Now, in general, the security does mean the quality or state being secure, to be free from attacks, to free from threats. So when you are staying in your home, you are always comfortable, feel having a kind of in a secured environment. So whatever the position, whatever the that your staying room, the situation, even though it is like an hut, but it is if you are own and you are confident and you are staying in that hut or some like any like in a temporary, but it is your own, you always feel security. Am I right? So that's what the quality here is very important. The quality or state being secure is nothing but you always happy to be stay in your home, like you are comfortable to stay, that you are like in a protected. So that means that to be free from attacks. So in other words, so what you can to be free from attacks means, in other words, it is a freedom from dangers. It is freedom from the risks. It is freedom from the attacks, etc. Safety, freedom from care, anxiety or doubt, well-founded confidence. That is where you are having that freedom. So something that secures or makes you safe, something that secures or makes you protected, something that secures you like in a or in defense mode. So that would be also can be considered as a security. In other words, like if you looking about an objective, it is a protection against adversaries. If something adversary is happening on you, that is you are protected from those adversaries, is also called security. From those who would do harm intentionally or otherwise to you, so you are much protected when you have a security. That's what we call a security. When taking example of financial security also, when you have a enough money, when you have a enough infrastructure to sustain by yourself a long period like next 10 to 15 years, even without any job, you are very much secured as financially. If you have a government job, you always feel that uh, you are financially or secured. If you are working in a temporary job, you don't know when you lose job, so that so you always worry, you don't have a proper security. So these are the some of the examples when it is we consider as a security. Generally, that you should be quality or state being secure. So security means safety. as well as the measures taken to be safe or protected. So if you wanted to secure your life, you need to get a continuous job, like in a government job. Of course, nowadays there is no such as many as government jobs, because government jobs are limited. It is very difficult to each and everybody to get in a government job. But at least you are getting in a job which you can have no doubt that you can work for a longer period, that means 10 years, 20 years. So you are secured with your job. That is what called security. Often this word is used in compounds such as in a security measure, security check, or security guard. So when you move to or when you travel to airport, so there is the respect to security measures with respect to the air travel, and there were security checks for the security of passengers, and there are security guards which protecting and checking each and every individual who enters the airport to protect the whoever the travels in that airport. So that is why we can take a lot of examples in such a way that we can the security word will come. The security department in a business is sometimes just called security, simply security. In other words, so as a point of objective, as we discussed, it is a protection from the adversaries and from those who do harm. The security from those who would do harm to you, who would do intentionally harm or otherwise harm to you, you need to be protected. That thing would come as part of the cyber security. So it is like a, for example, if you take this is the freedom from financial cares or from want. The insurance policy gives the family security. If something happens to anything to you, or your family is protected through an insurance policy. And also security, if you're looking about the national point of view, that is either national point of view or organization point of view, it is a kind of a multi-layered system that protects the sovereignty of an organization, sovereignty of a country or state, and its respective assets, and of course its resources and people also. So the security word can be expanded for each and every activity, and of course there is no such thing like that information. For securing information also, security is important. That's what we all are here to learn about cyber security or information security as our career, to build our career much strong, much be secured our jobs by updating ourselves, part of the security. So cyber security is part of everybody's life. If you are doing whatever the kind of job, if you had the cyber security skills and information security skills, this definitely gives some security to strengthen your career. So what is cyber security? Till now, which we learned about the in general security, job security, insurance, family security through insurance, and like infrastructure security, cyber security, airport security, and all. But how it is different with the cyber security? So that's what we look into that. The cyber security is the state of or process of protecting and recovering computer systems, networks, devices, and programs from any type of cyber attack. So before that cyber attack, so we need to understand what is exactly cyber. Cyber is generally we thought of that anything that we digitally communicate. For sending a message through in a postal card is like a traditional. Sending in a same message through digitally via email or fax is come as part of the cyber security. So if somebody is attacking on these cyber devices, cyber security is the state of or process of protecting and recovering those computer systems, network and devices. It's a practice of defending our computers, our servers, our devices, our networks and our data from various malicious attacks. Malicious means here malwares, malicious software based attacks. So that is where we look into that, because as attackers employing new methods powered by various social engineering attacks, they, they will talk to us in phone. Meanwhile, they are trying to draw our money from our accounts. So they are using phone for stealing your money of your account, your financial institution is a kind of a cyber attack. Talking to us, getting our personal detail is comes under social engineering, and stealing the money will become under as a cyber crime, cyber attack. And because of the these people are using, attackers are using the various social engineering and artificial intelligence to circumvent traditional security controls, so that we should be very well to be versed with cyber security, which we need to defend the computers or systems, devices, networks and data from these malicious attacks. It is also known as information technology security. Why? Because so the cyber is comprising of the IT devices, ICT devices, information technology devices. So that's also called as an information technology security or electronic information security, because of our information is traveling through electronic devices. So it is also called as an electronic information security. So a strong cyber security system has multiple layers of protection spread across all computers, devices, networks and applications. So applications, the fact of the matter is the world is increasingly reliant on technology, and this reliance will continue as we introduce the next generation of smart internet enabled devices that have access to our networks through via various communication and ICT communications, information technology or in communication technologies like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc. The common cyber threats may be uh, like if you look at about the common cyber threats like a cyber frauds, including phishing, spear phishing, vishing and wiling, malware attacks including viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, rootkits, etc. All these would be that as many as threats are there with respect to our system. The cyber security needs to be depend from all these cyber security threats. The cyber security or information technology security or the techniques of protecting computers, networks, programs and data from unauthorized access or attacks that are aimed for exploitation. Computer security, cyber security or information technology security, whatever you call it as, which is the protection of those systems, those networks from the theft or damage of their hardware, software or electronic data, as well as from the disruption, misdirection of the services they provide. So that is where cyber security will come as an in picture. So how do you need as a person, cybersecurity need as a person? Because always there is a need for everybody as a person, as a person. Cybersecurity is important because it encompasses everything that pertains to protecting our sensitive data, personal identifiable information, protected health information, personal information, intellectual property, data, and governmental and industrial information system from that and damage attempted from the theft and other damages who do on our systems. Because as a person we are working at our one office for our liveliness, am I right? So every person is having the two roles. One is where he is working, one is as a family man to look about the family. These two roles they have to play very important for sustaining their life. So one is the organization requirements, there is a data, there is information. Once you are coming from out of the organization, when you go to home, you may have your own needs with respect to your family, and you may use again some kind of an cyber devices like your own home laptop, home devices, gaming devices, and educational material through them. So that is where, as a person, you are playing in a two different roles. So when you are playing two different roles, so one role is at office, another role is at home. So you need to have some kind of uh, a thin line differentiation between these two activities. The cyber security, what you are using and what you are using at office and what you are using at home, it may be a different, but technology may be same. But using the policy, using the technology, that members who are part of that your organization, members are part of your office may be a different. That we need to understand how they use these devices, desktop, mobile, personal devices. So you may be using broadband Wi-Fi at your office, and there could be a number of financial frauds with respect to your bank details, with respect to individual. As an individual, you may be having a bank accounts. So somebody try to steal your money through your financial frauds, and phishing attacks are happening, and financial scams are happening. The cybersecurity's importance is on the rise. So fundamentally, our society is more technologically reliant than ever before, and there is no sign that the trend will slow. Personal data that could result in identity theft is now posted to the public on our social media accounts. Sensitive information like social security numbers, Aadhaar numbers, credit card information, and bank account details are now stored in cloud by bank or by you. So that could be uh, one one threat, that somebody can steal those details, like you are sharing these details in Dropbox and Google Drive. The fact of the matter is, whether you are an individual, small business, or large multinational, you rely on computer systems every day. Pair this with the rise in cloud services. Poor cloud service security may reveal your information, and Internet of Things are going on, have a rise is happening. So your systems, your gaming system, your TV, everything is coming as part of internet. So there is no privacy. Everybody is watching you. So that could be another threat to as a personal. So it is must required for cyber security need. The cloud service security, smart modes, and Internet of Things, and we have a myriad of cyber security threats that didn't exist a few decades ago. But we need to understand the difference between cyber security and information security, even though the skill sets are becoming more similar. The following are some of the threats The following are some of the threats towards an individual, like desktop, mobile, personal device, broadband, social networking sites, because we are sharing a lot of information and those social networking sites. That gives a kind of a key to the attackers, and of course, abusing through emails, mobile device threats, laptop mobile threats, so identity theft, email hacking. These are the some of the threats. So we can easily say that uh, towards an individual, and misuse of your own information also possible. So now looking about that cyber security need as part of the organization, as we already discussed about that you are playing two roles. So one may be as a person, as at your office, at your home, and another is at an organization as an employee or as a lead of the organization. With respect to organization, most of the attacks related to an individual also can apply on organization also. The identity theft of an individual could be an identity theft of an organization also can be done. However, the approach and the impact may be vary depend on situation and need by an attacker. Some of the following are threats towards organization, like information, your organization information may posted in your website. That information gives a key to that what kind of systems you are using in your organization. Suppose, let's say example, a Linux administrator is required for your organization, gives an information that your organization is working on Linux operating system. So that itself is a key to an attacker. He can find out the loopholes of your Linux system, like website intrusion. So what is that? If your website is working on the Linux, based on the Linux vulnerabilities, he can intrude in your website and can do a defacement. Domain stalking, though that your organization is hosted in a website, so domain stalking attack would be possible. Malicious code, so that means after understanding the vulnerabilities, you can implement, there is a code, malicious code, to get into your organization. So this is a right to everybody to scan. But if you are not implementing properly and not reject the scanning things at gateway level, you can scan each and every device of your public hosted things. Through that, you can understand what kind of what kind of hosting applications and what kind of development is happening in your organization. He also can do some kind of a denial of service attacks, so that he is trying to send as much as load on your public servers in such a way that your public servers or their resources would be killed, so that your website or your hosted services may be not available to the general users of your organization. So generally the organization may be a targeted attacks. If they wanted to attack your organization and make it down, they target each and every possibility of gap area in your organization, identifying them and getting through them is that main objective of the attackers. Of course, there could be a possibility of using phishing data by sending that on behalf of your organization to your customers is also possible. So other than this, everybody is the same like what you are. So some people may be a fraudulent people in your organization, also support outside people to reveal your data to that could be kind of an insider threat. And along with that, your organization is accepting some kind of a financial activities, and the frauds also can be possible because of the gap areas in your system. So you may be hosting a critical infrastructures like a servers or like important activities which are required by 24/7, where could be also target for the attackers. And organization information and organization employees information and the functionalities information may give further details uh, for that attackers, so that attackers can target your organization. Now coming to the, that is what we look about that as a person, as an as a organization. That is what two roles are important for anybody in this society. But we are living in a country, the responsibility be part of that country to follow the processes and laws of the country also. Am I right? So maybe we are playing two roles, but all these two roles we are playing under one nations and their respective land laws. Cyber security is also very much important, as being in a single man or a human being of that particular country. We need to also have the responsibility to protect that countries. And you look about that, there is a wars are happening between two countries. The wars can possible on cyber itself. The cyber warfare involves the actions by nations, a state or international organization to attack and attempt to damage another nation's computers of information or in networks through, for example, computer viruses, denial of service attacks. Such can be possible from the state-based support organizations. Cyber warfare is the use of the technology to attack a particular nation, causing comparable harm to actual warfare. There is a significant debate among the experts regarding the definition of the cyber warfare, and even if such a thing exists. So whatever we discussed about the personal requirement and organizational requirement and making them down is always the making the down of the nation also. So if a person is lost the money of even though 1 lakh rupee, if such persons are there 600 lakh money rupees, or 6 lakhs or $10,000, $20,000, which is transferring it to other country, is also financially so making down that country. So that every aspect of these personal need and organization need also applies to the national need also. But however, this cyber warfare could be as a specifically to the nation part. So we should be very much reliant on such kind of a depending such kind of attacks like a cyber warfare attacks. So some of the things can also possible with respect to nation, like cyber warfare, cyber terrorism, attacks on various critical infrastructures like government agencies, oil and natural gas industries, banking. Attacks on these all is implies of on us also as being we part of the nation. So web displacement of the government sites, intrusions and putting the slogans against a country, and of course malware propagation and demanding the ransomware through malware propagation so that we may lose money, scanning and probing, DOS, DDoS attacks, all these are possible in this particular activity. So as now we clearly understood about what is security, what is cyber security. Now we look about that some exercise which we try to do that. Go to any internet, either any search engine, Google, Bing, Yahoo, and just type cyber security. You might have a different definitions and different things. So define your own definition of cybersecurity. As a person, you have to define what cybersecurity means. So that is where you have to look about that, because you define cybersecurity as a person, and also you define as an organization, and of course how it maps with the national security. So can we consider make further update the defined statement as a draft or vision mission statement as part of your organization or your cyber security policy? See, every individual, you have to define your policy, cyber security policy, that in a home I will use for this activities for internet, and for that I follow these cyber security practices. That is why you need to write yourself. For writing that, first initially you have to define what is that cyber security for as an individual, for you as an individual. Similarly, when you are working in an organization, how you define the cybersecurity as being a part of an organization. How these two cybersecurity definitions will work for a national perspective of view. So this is the exercise I request you to upload into that your e-learning system. So thank you very much. We will meet you in the next session.